Glycopyrrolate for hyperhidrosis. We are going to talk about these pills, these 1 mg pills of glycopyrrolate, which we use for excessive sweating. Now, these are not specifically made for hyperhidrosis. Dermatologists or GPs, they use it as off label, but it's not specifically made for hyperhidrosis. It's like off label that works also for hyperhidrosis. Now, it's an anticholinergic medication which goes and basically blocks our chemical messenger, which then triggers our sweat glands or any other action like in our body. It goes and blocks that. That's why it works for our excessive sweating, for our hyperhidrosis. Now, this video is going to be divided in few sections. I'm gonna start with my experience, then I'm gonna cover about how to use these, and then I'm also gonna cover about the side effects, which are really important to know before you jump onto this medication. Now, before I share my experience, if you have watched my earlier video about glycopyrrolate, you already know I was strictly against the idea of taking oral medications, like from the beginning. Like, I don't know, it's been like more than 15 years when doctors recommended this to me, to take oral pills. But at that point, I refused to take oral pills because I was very strict on what goes inside my body. And as you already know, hyperhidrosis is a chronic condition. It's not going anywhere, it's not going away. So we need to be taking this like for the rest of our life if we choose this treatment and if we want the results. Now, I want to make something really clear here. Glycopyrrolate doesn't treat hyperhidrosis. So if that is clear, like, if you take this pill, it's not like that the hyperhidrosis will go away. It's not like that. It's just a pill that blocks that chemical messenger which makes our sweat glands produce sweat. The best thing about taking glycopyrrolate is it works on the entire body. Since it's an oral pill, it goes into your like bloodstream and it works on your entire body. So if you are someone who has like generalized hyperhidrosis, or if you have hyperhidrosis like in your scalp, back, or any other area, it treats all of them. Like, I have in three areas. I have the worst trifecta. I have in my palms, soles, and underarms. So before I used like glycopyrrolate, I had to use the treatments on every single part of my body where I have hyperhidrosis. Like, let's take an example of iontophoresis. So if I was using iontophoresis, I had to do the sessions for my palms, for my soles, and also for my underarms. So these are like three sessions which I had to take like in a single day to treat all of the three areas. So if you suffer with hyperhidrosis in more than one area, glycopyrrolate can be the best option for you. And since it works on your entire body, you just have to take a pill. Like, you don't have to think about treating other areas. It just goes into your bloodstream and it works on the entire body. So that is really nice. And now let me just start with my experience and what I did. So as I shown you, these are like my glycopyrrolate pills. These are 1 mg pills, and I started with taking even less than 1 mg. Initially, I broke the pill of 1 mg into very minor dosage. The thing which I wanted to do was to like take as low dosage as possible to start with, and eventually increase the dosage depending on how my body responds. But since I broke the pill on the first day, it just went into my body and it just like exploded. It made me so sick. Like, I got diarrhea and it just messed up like my entire gut. So that was just like my mistake, and I'm sharing this to you so you don't make the same mistake. Now, after having a bad experience on the starting day, I took like a pause for just 1 2 days more, and then I started again. Now, this time I took a pill of 1 mg only for like a week, and for me it worked really well. But I would like to share something that I haven't spoken about earlier. The first day I took the pill, I went for a walk outside, like in the sun, like in the afternoon, in like summer heat, under the sun. It was like, I don't know, it was like 35 degrees Celsius. So I went for a walk for like 30 minutes, and I returned to my like room. So the entire walk I did not sweat. I did not even had a single drop of sweat on anywhere on my body. Not even on my palms, not like on my like forehead or any other area. Like zero sweat. On the same day when I was walking, I felt for the first time in my life overheated. Like I don't know if you have heard about this thing, but it's like uh, you feel hot from inside. It's actually complicated to explain, but I will do my best. So you feel like uh, it's really hot. Like your body gets really hot from inside, but it doesn't turn into sweat. It blocks the heat, which turns into sweat, and like your body cools down. It blocks that thing. So you have to be really careful when you start taking this oral medication. And for all of you, I recommend starting this treatment only by consulting your dermatologist or GP. If you think you are just smart enough that you can do everything by your own, you are delusional. I'm telling you here, I have tried to do that on my own and I got sick because it was my fault. So make sure if you want to even try this, do consult with a dermatologist or a GP. They have to prescribe you this. You can't just get this over the counter. And even if there's somehow a way where you could, get your hands on this medication, just don't do that without a proper consultation, because a dermatologist or a doctor, they need to understand your symptoms, your body, before they prescribe you the dosage. Like you don't decide dosage on your own terms. That's not how it works, because glycopyrrolate is made for something else. Like it's made for your gut or for your saliva, things like that. It's complicated, but if you do your research, you will get to know it's not made specifically for hyperhidrosis. It's off label, so you better get consultation from your GP or dermatologist. Like it's non-negotiable. So now the first week I took 1 mg of these pills, I was getting really good results. Like I was getting dry and I was having no side effects. But as I said, I had to go to the 2 mg, which is like standard for people who have hyperhidrosis. Like if you start this medication, you will be recommended like 2 mg of this. So after a first week of taking 1 mg, I decided to bump up to 2 mg. And when I went to the 2 mg mark, it was like something new for me. I haven't felt managing sweat that easily. I have never felt that. Like it's not like antiphoresis or any other treatment where you have to do the sessions or apply the cream. Like it's no effort at all. You just take a single pill or you take two pills if you are taking at 2 mg, and it's nothing. You don't even have to think about it. And the another thing which I wanted to experience with the 2 mg was side effects, because with 1 mg it was like really low for me, and even 1 mg worked really well, so I didn't even had to like bump the dosage. But I still did. I did because I wanted to experience the side effect so I could like guide you better. When I took the 2 mg, and it's been like a month since I have started like glycopyrrolate, and I faced no side effects. Even with 2 mg of dosage, I felt no side effects. And it's really surprising for me as well, because with whomever I have discussed about this, I have just got to know that at 2 mg mark they were facing side effects. But in my case I did not, which is like I don't know, it's a real case. But majority of people does face the side effect. So before I go and explain how to use glycopyrrolate, there are also other two things which I want to explain to you. While I was taking glycopyrrolate, I was hitting the gym. And I only felt overheated like first 2 3 days, when like I told you, my body couldn't sweat, like it couldn't breathe in the sense, but you have to sweat. And that's why with glycopyrrolate, that the goal isn't to get fully dry, because it will block your natural layer of sweat, which is like not healthy at all. You need to be sweating, you need your other body parts to breathe. Like with sweat we breathe as well. It's just our like parts where we have hyperhidrosis, they are like overstimulated. They overly produce the sweat. They work 24/7. It's like that. But in other parts of our body, we need our body to breathe. We need our body to cool itself down. Like it's a car engine. It needs to cool itself as well. And if you are an athlete, or if you are someone who is like who lives an active lifestyle like me, I love playing sports or going to the gym or going for a run or walking. Like I live the active lifestyle. And for me, sweating is really important, like in certain time of the day where I'm doing the activity. It's the natural thing, and it keeps your body healthy, and it keeps the temperature regulated. Now, as I told you, I just felt overheated for like initial 1 to 2 3 days. And while I was taking 1 mg, or while I was taking 2 mg, I was pushing in the gym really hard, and I was sweating. I was sweating, but I wasn't sweating like I have hyperhidrosis. I was sweating like a normal person. When I was hitting like my PRs, I was sweating. But just it's like normal sweat, not crazy like we have hyperhidrosis, not like that. And the second thing I wanted to share with you is like caffeine. If you go and increase the consumption of like caffeine or coffee in general, the dryness will reduce in your case if you bump up the caffeine. So you need to remember this. If you increase the coffee, I am a coffee person, and I drink like 2 coffees per day easily, and sometimes even three. So you need to consider this aspect as well. Now it's the part where we talk about how to use these pills. Now, to start with, we will be taking glycopyrrolate first thing in the morning, especially when you wake up. Like when you wake up, you would have your glycopyrrolates to your side. And once your eyes are open, take the pill as soon as possible. As soon as you wake up, and you have to fast for an hour in order for glycopyrrolate to work. Another thing, if you have food in your stomach, like if you have eaten something, or if you don't fast, the effectiveness of this thing will reduce dramatically. Have a glass of water to your side with glycopyrrolate. As soon as you wake up, take the pill, fast for an hour, then eat whatever you want if you are taking 1 mg. Now, let's say if you are going to take 2 mg, which very importantly, let me see here, the dosage will be decided by your GP or by your dermatologist. Don't be a fool where you decide your own dosage. It's not something like over the counter. It's not like some lotion where you don't have to think about. It's something that you are putting inside your body. It's an oral medication. It works on your nervous system. It goes into your entire bloodstream. So be very careful. That's why from the beginning I was really against the idea of taking oral medications for like hyperhidrosis. Now another thing, it's prescription based only. So you have to go to your dermatologist or your GP in order to consult with him that you want to test this glycopyrrolate. Now let's talk about the side effects of taking glycopyrrolate. So it's an oral medication, and it comes with few side effects. First is dry mouth, then there's also constipation, and then there's also blurred vision, and then there's also like some people might face temporary loss of like memory, and there's also like difficulty of passing urine. Out of these like 5 side effects, I did not face any of it. And listen to me very carefully here. I am not saying, or I am not claiming if I didn't face any of the side effects, you wouldn't be facing it as well. That's not how it works. We all are different. Something that, like, if something is giving me side effects, it might not give you side effects, and vice versa, of course. Plus, as I told you, there's also a possibility of overheating, which I felt like in the initial 1 or 2 days. But after that, I was like, my body was sweating naturally throughout, like when I was pushing in the gym, or I was doing cardio, or I was running. In that, like in the sports time, I was sweating normally. Now, let's conclude everything we have talked about glycopyrrolate. My experience is really positive. I have already told you what has worked and what didn't work. So for me, glycopyrrolate gives a green flag, and I would recommend it to you. But please listen to this carefully. Consult with your dermatologist or GP first before you get onto this treatment. Like, I had to go through a blood test before I took this, and even after taking, like, for a 2 weeks, I had to take my blood test. And I got the blood test and everything is fine. And I am someone who is really after my health. So I recommend you to take the same approach. And especially if you have hyperhidrosis in more than one area, I recommend glycopyrrolate. It really helps because, like, I was taking iontophoresis session in my hands, in my feet, in my underarms, and it was like pain in the ass. Now, if you want to get dry, despite your condition, despite your excessive sweating, despite this curse, then there's going to be a link in the description for my program. It's called Reach Peak Dryness. Go click on that and check it out. You will get dry if you just follow that. And plus, I will be also adding a course for glycopyrrolate, like complete mastery and everything which I haven't covered. Like, this was just like an overview. I will go into like in depth, like being a master of using glycopyrrolate for hyperhidrosis to control, to get dry, and to live your life like you have dreamed of. And if you need more help, comment on this video or just go and send me a DM on Instagram. There's going to be a link as well there, and I will see you right there.